Hey guys, welcome back. This is Bernardo from the BJTechNews. And yeah, it's been 2 or 3 days that Apple has released the iOS 7 to everyone. So I realized there's 11 worst things about the iOS 7 that I want to show you guys. And let's begin. The user interface has gone completely flat, so apps look a lot less like actual buttons. I missed the indirect depth provided by previous iOS versions that made it seem like we weren't just tapping the screen. What happened, Apple? Why the flat UI? iOS 7 is more gesture focused than previous versions, and it's fun taking advantage of the features such as swipe to unlock, but there are many animated movements that can confuse anyone. The main offender here is how apps open and close by zooming in and out of content via diagonal movement. It looks slick, but at the same time it creates an odd effect. The jitter nature of the parallax effect on the background makes you feel lightheaded sometimes. The good news is you could turn this off by selecting the reduce motion in settings, general, accessibility, and reduce motion option. If you want to do an internal search, like the spotlight feature, you swipe your finger from the top of the screen downward. If you want to see the recent notifications, do the same thing but start the swipe at the very top of the screen. It's very easy to confuse the two and bring up one function when you actually want another. Plus, it makes finding Spotlight more challenging, which has been a major complaint from many iOS 7 users. Navigating iOS 7 has been far less natural than previous iOS versions. I'm still trying to figure out which certain features are hiding and what used to take one click, like closing a new web page in Safari. It takes a bit more work, and the X button is too small. The keyboard has a new look too, although it looks awesome looking, but there are some challenges with its basic functionality. It's difficult to tell when you capitalize a word or press the shift key. The .com button is no longer an option, so you have to type that each time you type in a URL address. Another huge complaint with the iOS 7 is that it drains the battery. It takes few extra steps to close apps, and you are probably running a bunch of more programs in the background than you realize. By double-clicking the home button, you can view all applications, web pages, and other programs recently opened. To close an app and save battery life, swipe the image of the app off the screen. By doing this, it will help preserve your charge of the battery within your device. Android users are familiar with this complaint. When you open a folder on the home screen and then open an app within the folder, hitting the home button will take you back to the folder and not the home screen. When closing out of an app, iOS users are trained to be back at the main screen, but now they have to go through the extra steps of leaving the folder. Although this might make sense, you open the folder, so now you have to close it. It's just adding more steps iOS users aren't used to taking. I've seen some complaints from users with cheaper non-Apple chargers who can no longer use them with their device. With the new iOS, this note pops up on the screen. This is not an authorized Apple product and may not be reliable. As a result, you might have to purchase an Apple's original charger, which will cost you an arm and a leg. When you typically charge your iPhone and the battery is less than 20%, the icon at the top right will switch from red to white when it's plugged in. Now I notice it stays red until it suppresses 20% battery capacity. So you might think your phone isn't charging when it actually is. Everything about the iOS 7 experience is gesture based, but when you want to go back to the main screen, you have to press the home button, an actual button. When there's a shortcut for most things, I like to see one for the function we use the most. If you ask someone what they think of Apple's new iOS 7 software, you'll likely get a strong reaction. Opinions on the biggest change to the iOS since the original iPhone have also been mixed, to say the least. Some people love it, while others are just basically crying. Well, that's about it. That's my 11 worst things about the iOS 7. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Leave comments below, and don't forget about hitting that like button. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.